December 1997. The world was about to change. Titanic hit theaters and became more than just a movie. It was a cultural event, a global phenomenon that swept up audiences in a whirlwind of grand romance, heart-wrenching heartbreak, and one of the most devastating tragedies in history. The story of Jack and Rose, the awe-inspiring grandeur of the ship, the sheer scale of the tragedy. It wasn't just a film, it was a memory etched into a generation. Now, more than 2 decades later, the faces we came to know so well have changed. Some still shine brightly, some lives took unexpected turns, and sadly, some stories have ended. Let's dive into the cast of Titanic, how they looked then, where life took them, and what about their journey shocks you today? The unlikely bromance. The feud between Jack and Cal was strictly on screen. In real life, Leonardo DiCaprio and Billy Zane became fast friends. They have reunited often at events in recent years, sharing their friendship with fans who remember their famous rivalry. The shocking body shaming. In a story that resonates even more today, Kate Winslet has spoken out about the intense body shaming she faced during the Titanic era. She recalls the harsh reviews and media comments about her body, calling them appalling. Today, she's a vocal advocate for body positivity and authenticity, using her voice to inspire Iowan Gruffudd, Harold Lowe. Then, he played the heroic 4th Officer Harold Lowe, who was one of the few crew members to return with a lifeboat to look for survivors. He was a small but crucial part of the film's rescue scenes. Now, Iowan Gruffudd has gone on to star in many films and television series, including Horatio Hornblower and the Fantastic Four movies. His personal life made headlines recently with a high-profile divorce, but he has since remarried and is expecting a child, remaining a very active actor in both Hollywood and international productions. Interesting facts and little-known stories. Breaking records. Titanic was one of the first films in history to break the $1 billion worldwide box office barrier, eventually grossing over $2.2 billion after its re-releases. Its success was unprecedented, proving that a love story could be the biggest blockbuster of all. Susie Amos Cameron, Lizzie Calvert. Then, she played Lizzie, Rose's great-granddaughter, who opens the modern part of the story. Her role was small but symbolic, connecting the past to the present. Now, after Titanic, Susie stepped away from acting and became a passionate environmental activist. She has been a strong advocate for sustainable fashion and plant-based food initiatives. In 2000, she married the film's director James Cameron, making their shared story a true Hollywood romance. Danny Nucci, Fabrizio De Rossi. Then, he was Fabrizio, Jack's close and loyal friend. His death scene, where he falls from the ship into the freezing water, was one of the most emotional and tragic moments of the entire film. Now, Danny Nucci has continued to act regularly, especially on television. He has appeared in hit shows like The Fosters and 911 and has worked steadily in the business, building a solid career. Alexandria Owen Sarno, Cora Cartmel. Then, you may not know her name, but you know her face. She played young Cora, the adorable wide-eyed steerage passenger who Jack famously danced with at the Irish party. At around 8 years old, she stole the scene with her innocence and joy. Now, Alexandria moved to Los Angeles and continued to pursue acting, but in a different way. She now works in improv and sketch comedy. She still gets recognized by Titanic fans, and she has fully embraced her role in cinematic history, often sending out autographed photos and keeping up with fan mail. Bill Paxton, Brock Lovett. Then, he was Brock Lovett, the modern-day explorer whose search for the heart of the ocean framed the entire story. He was energetic and curious, with an infectious charm that made him a beloved figure in the film's modern scenes. Now, sadly, Bill Paxton passed away in 2017. He was a beloved character actor whose career spanned every genre imaginable, from sci-fi classics like Aliens to disaster films like Twister. Fans mourned the loss of a truly lively and talented actor whose legacy lives on in his body of work. Leonardo DiCaprio, Jack Dawson. Then, he was the ultimate breakout star, the young, scruffy, and impossibly charming Jack Dawson. With his boyish good looks and captivating screen presence, he was the starving artist who won not only Rose's heart, but the hearts of millions of fans worldwide. This role launched him from a talented young actor to a bona fide superstar, making him the world's most desired actor. Now, today, in his late 40s, Leonardo DiCaprio is a cinematic heavyweight. The dreamy Jamie Boy from Titanic is now an Academy Award winner for his grueling performance in The Revenant. He is a producer and a leading man in every sense of the word, taking on complex roles in prestige films from Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon to Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He has also become one of the most prominent environmental activists in the world, using his global platform to fight for the planet. The transformation is impressive, from a romantic dreamer to one of the most respected actors and activists working today, Jonathan Hyde, Thomas Andrews. Then, as the kind, meticulous architect of the Titanic, Thomas Andrews, Jonathan Hyde was the film's moral conscience. He was a youthful and serious figure, torn with guilt and trying to save lives, even as his own creation was sinking. Now, Jonathan Hyde is older now and still acts in strong supporting roles. He has more weight and experience in both his voice and film roles. While his face shows age, his performance gravitas has increased, and the youthful idealism of his Titanic character has been replaced by a more solemn dignity. Bernard Hill, Captain Smith. Then, Bernard Hill played the regal, authoritative Captain Smith, a man burdened with the tragic responsibility of his ship. His was a role of stoic strength and quiet tragedy, and his final moments on screen were among the film's most powerful. Now, Bernard Hill is a legend of British cinema, and while he is much older now, his legacy endures. His distinguished profile shows the passage of time with grayed hair and a lined face, but his voice is still commanding. He is respected for carrying the moral weight of such a heavy role, and will forever be remembered as the captain who went down with his ship. Kathy Bates, Molly Brown. Then, as the unsinkable Molly Brown, Kathy Bates was a boisterous, protective, and larger-than-life character full of heart and humor. Her warmth and down-to-earth nature made her a beloved figure in the film. Now, Kathy Bates is still one of Hollywood's most respected and celebrated actresses. She continues to act in movies, TV, and theater, taking on powerful and often quirky roles. Her face shows the dignity of time, but her warmth in both appearance and spirit remains, and she often speaks out about health issues and her advocacy for meaningful roles. Kate Winslet, Rose DeWitt Bukater. Then, she was the elegant, fiery Rose DeWitt Bukater, a young woman trapped by her class and torn between duty and her heart. Kate Winslet was a rising star with a beautiful, graceful presence and an emotional depth that made her perfect for the role. Now, today, Kate Winslet is still one of the most respected and fiercely talented actresses in Hollywood. She has won numerous awards, including an Academy Award, and has fearlessly taken on diverse and challenging roles, from the dystopian action of Avatar, The Way of Water, to her Emmy-winning turn as a small-town detective in Mayor of Easttown. She has embraced aging with grace and speaks out fiercely against body shaming and unrealistic beauty standards, proving that her voice and experience are just as powerful as her talent. Help us avoid the iceberg of obscurity. Smash Frances Fisher, Ruth DeWitt Buchar. Then, she played Ruth DeWitt Buchar, Rose's proud and strict mother who was obsessed with social status. Dressed in her finest clothing, she was an emotionally intense presence, a key symbol of the societal pressures that Rose was trying to escape. Now, Frances Fisher continues to work steadily in film and television, often playing maternal or authoritative roles. Her face shows the passage of time and wisdom, and while her edges have softened, she is still capable of a powerfully strong presence on screen. She has aged gracefully and is admired for her long-lasting career. Billy Zane, Caledon Cal Hockley. Then, he was the polished, arrogant, and cold-hearted fiancé, Caledon Cal Hockley. Billy Zane's performance as the perfect villain made him the ultimate foil for Jack, and his striking good looks made him an icon of classic cinematic villainy. Now, today, Billy Zane is older, his sharp features now more rugged and natural with age. He continues to act in films and on television, taking on a variety of smaller roles, voice work, and guest spots. While he is no longer the villain of the blockbuster screen, he has become more composed and mellow in real life, and fans still adore him for his memorable performance in Titanic. Why we still care / The Legacy. More than a quarter century later, Titanic defines an entire era of filmmaking and continues to be a pop culture touchstone. For many of us, the image of the iceberg, the grand staircase, and Jack yelling, "I'm the king of the world," is an inseparable part of our youth. The look, the costumes, the romance, the story of Jack and Rose has become shorthand for an iconic cinematic love story. Watching the cast then versus now is more than just a trip down memory lane. It's a powerful reminder of the passage of time, of growth, growth and of loss. Their transformations tell universal human stories of success and struggle, of aging and of death. Kate is still performing at the top of her game, Leo is still fighting for causes he believes in, Billy Zane still embraces his villains, and Bill Paxton's memory lives on. Titanic didn't just sink a ship, it set sail into our hearts forever. The cast we first saw as young voices of hope, love, and conflict are today still telling stories, some in a quieter way, some in a louder way, and some whose voices have been silenced forever. But their legacies live on. They are more than just actors. They are the people who gave us a story that will never die. Which of these transformations shocked you the most? Whose story of aging did you find most inspiring? Let me know in the comments below. And if this video brought back a flood of nostalgia